Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we are going to be talking about the best ways to grind out Trials of Reckoning. We're also going to be talking about the Trials of Reckoning hard boss and the best strategy that I found to use right now in clearing him. Let's go ahead and dig in. So first off, I do have to show off just a little bit. We are at the end of the first day, and you guys can see I am sitting here comfortably at rank number 1, and I'm having a lot of fun. This might actually be the first time that I actually try to get an individual high total score in Trials of Reckoning. I'm having lots of fun doing it. It's really fun optimizing. This video is basically going to be broken down into 2 parts. It's going to be broken down into what I'm farming right now, and then it's going to be broken down into how I am farming the hard boss battle. In terms of farming, I am farming hard quest number 3 right now. I found that just with the amount of farming that I want to do, it's the fastest and the biggest use of NRG if you can program your units appropriately. And that is the key word here, is program your units, because it is very difficult to optimize hard quest number 3. Most people are probably going to find it easier to grind out normal number 5 and normal number 4 for tickets, and that's totally okay. You can optimize that. But for me, it's going to be all about grinding out hard quest number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of what I did to optimize in the party that I'm running here. This is my primary party, and there's a couple different strategies I have going here. You notice that Engelbert has actually an Esper that he has very little resonance on. We're actually going to change this to Kraken now, because we want Engelbert to have as little agility as possible. He is 120, which is, you know, what it is, but we want him to just be here raw for the bonus. We don't want him to actually do anything. Gargus is really important because Gargus is going to be able to AoE 3 of the enemies right off the bat. I do find slot 2 is the best for him in this, and that's kind of all he's going to be there to do. He will get an elemental bonus, which does give you some additional points on the Earth Malboro, so that is pretty good on that end. Cloud in slot 3 will kill the Lamia, and he will kill the Kraken. So he'll first kill on the Kraken, get an elemental bonus on it, and then he will use his triple slash on the Lamia across, getting both element and chain property bonuses to really help him out with that. Now, Laswell is the secret key to this mission, and Tifa as well. Laswell, it is really important that you do put jump +1 on him, and that you do put Ketones TMR on him. Now, one of the monsters is in a very hard to reach position, and having Laswell use Ketones TMR and be in slot 4 is one of the most important things here. You put Tifa in slot 5 because Tifa will run forward and will kill the monster, so that Laswell will avoid that monster and kill the monster on the jump 3 floor below him. So very important that you have the synergy of like Tifa here and Laswell. You may have to agility tune in order to make this work. I'll go ahead and show it in battle here. So let's go ahead and start the fight, and you'll see what I mean here. I'll kind of give you guys the play-by-play of what my units are doing and how I've kind of adjusted them to run their course here. You'll notice Engelbert's over here in the corner just kind of chilling. We're gonna have Cloud first. He's gonna get that elemental bonus on the Kraken here. This spawns the Giants, which are the hardest to get down there in that lower left-hand corner. Laswell's gonna do move up, jump up. I have all of his other abilities turned off. Tifa's gonna run forward. Gargus is gonna take 3 of these enemies out. And so what's important here is Tifa has to go before Laswell to kill this snake in the lower left. So she's gonna knock that snake out. And then because Laswell has the jump 3, he's able to jump down here and take out this enemy. And by doing that, you skip about 5 different steps of actually farming this stage, or like 5 different steps of your characters taking turns. You do get a nice 1900 points, and you know, you get a couple of skip tickets as well. Let's go ahead and transition to the hard boss fight now. A couple things to know about the hard boss fight is I average about 10,000 on him right now. The situation does have to change a little bit and for me to not. And my main composition does utilize Engelbert, and it is important to have Engelbert above 99 because what you need is access to the Holy Knight's auspices, or sorry, not Holy Knight auspices, but the buff to Immortal Spirit to grant target on you or enmity on yourself, because that does lure the opponent over. So before I kind of explain the strategy, I'm just going to go over all of my units, what their builds are, and then we'll talk about how it works. Tifa here, we of course have Uldoa's TMR, Odin, and Tifa's VC. You'll notice a lot of my units have the white flan, that's for paralysis resistance. Tifa does have Zangenset and Shikuchi. She is sub-paladin with access to Taunting Blade, and she of course has Blade Bash. And then I also do turn Sentinel on for this fight, and that is really important for everything to balance out, because Tifa is basically going to need to do either an AP buffing ability or an attack ability, and if she does the attack ability, she will mess up your chain because she's going to use Overpower, or whatever the attack is. Yeah, Overpower to close the gap on the monster. So everything needs to be turned off here. So everything's turned off except for Overpower on Tifa, and that will basically handle the left side of the map. She will be able to kill all of the Earth Element units, and you kind of leave her to do that. Now, Cloud is going to have Bells, Buster Sword. He's going to have kind of be your like main damage dealer. Now, Cloud is going to have Nightblade Mastery and Mercenary. Now, a lot of the time, people would say don't set EX Soldier first class, or do set it. The monster only has 15 defense, so I don't think it's fully worth it here. And the move +1 is important. Important to note, my Tifa and Cloud do not have capped Bravery yet either. And the reason I haven't capped their Bravery is because I was able to get this 10k clear relatively easily, and I don't want to mess up their 10k clear, because you will see that Tifa actually chain caps damage at the end of this fight. But in terms of abilities on Cloud, Braver for lowering slash resistance, triple slash on is going to be pretty important. Cross slash is off, and everything else is off in his sub kit. We are going to turn everything off. So he's basically going to be using Revitalize. He's going to be using, he actually won't use his Limit Break. He'll use triple slash, and then he will use Braver, basically, is all he's going to use. Rain in slot 3, arguably the most important, and you'll notice my Rain has Shiva on him and like some weird ass agility build. The reason for this is Rain's sole purpose in this fight, while yes, chaining is important, having the agility so that he can pull off Flaming Impact, which is in his EX kit, which does land slow on the opponent, is vital in order to get your optimal score. And so having him in this position with this agility is kind of the perfect layout in order to land slow on the opponent and then slide into Soul Prominence in his LB. So we do leave Soul Prominence on. We do turn everything else off. We leave his LB on. I have Intensifying Power and Initial AP up. And then for his sub job, I do have Astral Guard on and Undermine left on. He will not use those though. So the big thing with Rain is you want to make sure that with his positioning, he's far enough away from Guard Scorpion so that he uses his slow ability. So Flaming Impact is going to be his slow ability, and then he slides into using Soul Prominence or one of these other abilities. The other reason we have Siren on him is because it does give magic plus 131, so that is going to help his damage overall, and Shiva's there solely for agility. Engelbert, we got Iron Giant, we got Tetrasulfidon, paralysis resistance. We do have Rosa's Beretta here, which we did turn on, and basically Engelbert's job is kind of to direct the monster towards us and not take a ton of turns. So he's going to use Immortal Conviction is what we want. You will want to leave Saintly Wall on as well. Blade Bash you want to leave on, and then you want to sub Knight on him, and you want to turn everything off except Arm Break, Speed Break. My bad. Oh, you know what? I've been using Arm Break instead of Speed Break this whole time. I'm not going to change it now because I have a really good clear, and that could mess up my routine. So for me, I'm going to use Arm Break. You might want to consider using Speed Break, though. I can't believe I did that. Holy shit. It's a good thing I do this video because I am learning like, oh my god. So yeah. I'm using arm break apparently. You can't disable the monster, but that's what my Engelbert's doing. In terms of Laswell, I do have Glaciela's VC on him for the AP regeneration. I do have Fryzess on him because that's the highest modifier you can get on Laswell right now. Laswell's a little bit weird. I do actually leave jump +1 up on him just because it works out perfectly right now, so that my Tifa can chain finish. I leave Mirror of Equity on him. You do need to turn on Air to the Blade. Keep in mind, between this and your farming composition, you do have to turn Air to the Blade off. Blade Flash Awakened, of course, for lowering ice resistance, Mirage off, and you do want to leave Exercising Storm on for that 2-hit attack, and then you can take Finger Snap off here. So let's go ahead and run around, and I'll show you guys what this looks like here. So pretty exciting. I'll kind of showcase and talk about what we're doing. It should give us 10K. If not, it should give us at least above 8,500. I would say on the low end, it's 8,500. Usually it's the 10K. And usually it has to do with Tifa landing the chain finisher. One other important note here for Tifa is having Odin on her because she will use Odin. Rain also is really close to critical hit rate cap. So having Tidus's boots on him will enable him to crit more often here, or crit at almost 100%. Engelbert here, that move with his hate up is very important. I'm actually gonna turn the speed down to 1.5 here. So Cloud is gonna take out this Tomberry, which is important. This is kind of like setting everything up, right? Tifa's gonna overpower, take these guys out. Rain is going to use his ability here. Now, the reason Rain had agility on is he has to make his move before the Tomberry moves, or he will attack this Tomberry. And you'll notice that Rain was unable to land slow. That does happen sometimes. You will still be able to clear and get a relatively good score, but it does happen that slow does sometimes get resisted. This will be Cloud coming in with the slash resistance. Tifa will finish off this guy, and then you'll see Tifa will use Sentinel before she comes over for the next round, and Cloud will take out these Malboros. I would like Laswell to take them out, but his AI doesn't seem to go in that direction, and I can't really find a good way for him to drift that way. So Cloud will jump up here and take these out, and then we start the slow and sure process of whittling down the Guard Scorpion. So, of course, Engelbert popping his arm break here, Tifa popping Zantetsukin there. So see, she does use that Esper to support. And maybe it's the next turn that she uses Sentinel here. Laswell hitting chain cap damage. Would have been nice if we had gotten Laswell EX, but it just didn't happen. And of course, if you do land slow here from Rain, you will usually finish here with this attack from Tifa. She will usually chain cap and finish here. But if not, you're going to have Laswell probably finish him off. And it's not going to be as high of a chain cap finisher. And it is very dependent on whether or not Rain does land that slow on the Guard Scorpion. But even if he doesn't, you are going to get a very good score. So you can see we're at 8,800. If the slow does land, you will hit about 10,100. But it is a little bit variable. Most of the time, the slow will land for you. In terms of what you might be able to substitute and other strategies you might be able to use, there's a variety of strategies. You don't have to have Engelbert. You could have Rain sort of use his, provoke ability and position the monster correctly for yourself if you wanted. You could also do something like go with a wind slash chain, or sub some of the slash units that I have in there with slash units of your own. A lot of it's going to come down to how you can individually manipulate the monster and kind of get these recurring kind of chain of events happening, right? And it can be difficult to replicate 100%, especially if you're a new player. But anyone who is kind of used to agility tuning, or trying to figure out how to get units to act in specific ways, this is a great place to learn that as a newer player, and it's kind of fun to play around with once you actually get to know it and actually do it. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys do want to support me, please become a YouTube member. We are 4 YouTube members away from getting some new emotes, which are really fun. And we have been really trying to embrace the YouTube streaming. So it would really help me if you guys became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.